Sarveshwara Guru Sakshat Parabrahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Akhandamandalakaram Vyaptam Yena Characharam Tatpadam Darshitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Hari Om Dhyanamulam Gurur Murti Pujamulam Gurur Padam Mantramulam Gurur Vakyam Mokshamulam Gurur Kripa Om Shanti 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 Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karvavahe Tejasvinavaditamastu Ma Vidvishavahe Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Hari Om Chidarpana Jai Gurudev. First and foremost, wishing Sonia a very, 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 very happy birthday. It's her milestone birthday today, 50th year of 50th time going round the sun, 50 times over, another 50 left. So for that also we'll come. So the topic, of course, as you don't know. No, but no, they don't know.
No, you said it.
Okay, I said it already. Okay, so let's keep it a surprise till it's time to reveal. If you see our one day, we start it with waking up in the morning, and we prepare ourselves, we get ready, we prepare for the rest of the day. So that's the first part of the day, getting up and getting ready. Then of course starts the second part, which is actively, doing our work, whether it is studies or whether it is going to office or whether it is housework or whatever it is. The second part of our day is always the most active. We get tired, we do our duties, our responsibilities. Then the third part comes in where we wind down, we relax, we transit between a very active second part and get ready for sleep. We cannot directly go to sleep after getting so active with so many, responsibilities, stress, tension, lot of rajas. So the third part is meant for winding down, relaxing, overcoming the stress and just preparing for the fourth part, which is of course, sleep. So these four divisions that come in our daily life for everyone is the same thing that comes in seasons also. If you'll see the season spring, when the buds start coming up, grass starts growing, nature wakes up. So we also wake up in the morning, nature also wakes up. Then as we go about our duties and work hard, nature is also in the full bloom, producing fruits, producing flowers, producing vegetables, active. Then comes autumn. In autumn, the leaves fall, and they are preparing for the transition between actively growing and then dormant, stark nature, winter. So, as you can see, it seems to be the dharma of the universe to go through these 4 stages, whether it is in a day, our day, or a year, which is nature, seasons, 1 year, or a full lifetime. So, full lifetime, our life starts with being born. Same as waking up in the morning. In the morning we wake up, we prepare, we get ready for the day. When we are born, we get ready for the rest of our life. And we call that Brahmacharya Ashram, where we study, we learn, we prepare for the rest of our life. Actively working, going to office, going here, there, factory, ghar mein kaam, whatever it may be. Second part of our life is also Grihastha Ashram, where the most duties are there, most responsibilities are there, most active rajas is there, action is there. Then comes the third part. When we come home from work in the daytime, we have a retirement life, Vanaprastha. We retire, we relax between the most active Grihastha lifestyle to our ekdam end of our life, which is sannyas. In sannyas, we do tyag of sansar. So we start with brahmacharya, where we start our life, we prepare for our life, we prepare for the rest of our life. Then in Grihastha Ashram, we actively participate, we actively do things, we have the maximum number of responsibilities, the maximum number of duties, Grihastha. Then comes Vanaprastha. Vanaprastha is again, as we have the evening time in our life, one day, it is the transition between highly active outer life to a very contemplative inner life, sannyas. So this is the dharma of the universe, starting to the end. Brahmacharya and Grihastha, they are the active parts of our life. So we call that pravritti marg, where we are going outward into the sansar. And Vanaprastha and sannyas, which is the contemplative part of our life, we call that nivritti marg, withdrawing from sansar. So first 2 stages are going into sansar, next 2 stages are withdrawing from sansar. So this is not something that somebody has recently decided it should be. If you remember in Bhagavad Gita, Bhagwan Krishna says, I am the one who has created these 4 varnas and 4 ashrams. Do you all remember?
Yes.
In Bhagavad Gita, Bhagwan, so from the beginning of time, just like the law of gravity says, kuch pheka to niche jayega. Nobody has decided that. In the same way, these 4 stages of life are part of the law of the universe, right? So now, everybody knows quite a lot about Brahmacharya Ashram. And we have done one Satsang also, I think in Seema's house, right? When Vidyut took Upanayana. Grihastha, of course, you all know very well because you are living it, though you don't really live it correctly, but at least you know maximum about Grihastha. Sannyas, more or less you have seen people in Sannyas Ashram, you know more or less about Sannyas Ashram. But Vanaprastha is a mystery. Nobody talks about Vanaprastha Ashram. Nobody knows what is Vanaprastha Ashram and where are the ones where I will go in Prastha. So when Sonia said, let's do a satsang, she said, let's do it on Vanaprastha Ashram, because she's also going into the 51st year of her life, which is the time where you're supposed to live for 100 years, in Kaliyug at least. Before that more, but in Kaliyug you're supposed to live for 100 years. First 25 years Brahmacharya, 25 to 50 Grihastha, 50 to 75 Vanaprastha, and 75 to 100 you're supposed to be in Sannyas Ashram. So technically she's on the threshold of Vanaprastha Ashram. So it's good to know, acha, how many of you are below 50 over here? You can, nobody is doing And how many are above 50 years? Okay, so let me say this is for everyone, because if you are below 50, then you have time to prepare. And if you are above 50, then you better start preparing faster, right? Okay, so is Vanaprastha and Sannyas Ashram needed? Or can one directly continue living in Grihastha? What's wrong with Grihastha? What do you say? Is it required or not required? Vanaprastha and Sannyas. Okay, how many think not required? I can continue living in Grihastha Ashram. Okay, only one person? All of you think it's necessary? Then why aren't you in it? If you all think it's necessary, why are you not gone into Vanaprastha? So you are thinking one thing but doing something else. Correct? Yes. Right. So let's see, is it required or not required? This was a bouncer. So everybody here knows that the purpose of human birth is to attain moksha. Okay, let's see how logical it is. The purpose of human birth is to attain moksha. If you want to attain moksha, then it is required to have self-realization. Agreed? Okay, those who agree, put their hand up. Agreed? Self-realization, agreed. To attain self-realization, you can put your hand down, Sima. She's putting it up for whatever question Ma will ask her. To attain self-realization, you require knowledge. Agreed or not agreed? Agreed. To attain knowledge, you require 4 qualifications. Agreed or not agreed? Ashram by saying whatever. You need 4 qualifications. Vivek, Vairagya, Satsampatti, Mumukshutva. So now you know that I have to start qualifying myself. So you start thinking about Vivek. Vivek matlab, what is Sat, what is Asat, what is Mithya. All 3 things you should know clearly, right? We say Sat Asat for short form. Actually it is between Sat and Mithya. So you will start training. When you will start training and you will realize recognize what is Sat and what is not Sat, then obviously you will start studying and you will realize that when you are in Sansar, when you are in Mithya, when you are occupied in Mithya, then the Sansar is going to be a merry-go-round, a Ferris wheel of ups and downs. There is going to be Sukh, there is going to be Dukh, there is going to be attraction, there is going to be distraction, there is going to be a lot of inward, outward movement. And that is not at all conducive for getting moksha. Because for moksha, I need to be in a state of away from sansar. But sansar is taking me more and more into sansar. So, if you are training and if you have understood it, there is some samaj in what you are studying, then automatic thing will happen is that you will go away from what is taking me away from my goal, which is sansar, and you'll go more and more towards that which is taking me towards my goal. Which means vairagya for what is not taking me to moksha will develop. Yes or no? And what is vairagya? Moving away from sansar, going more towards atma. There are only two things, atma and anatma. So anatma is not going to take me to moksha, atma is going to take me to moksha. So where am I going to get that? I'm going to get it within, not in sansar. So Vivek and Vairagya will tell me that I don't need to be more and more in sansar. I need to be more and more in myself. And that is the meaning of Vanaprastha. So if I'm asking again, is Vanaprastha required in my life? Then I would have to say yes, it is. I will say yes and no. I will say yes if my goal is moksha. If my goal is moksha, then I think I need to go away from sansar more into myself. But if goal is not moksha, then by all means stay in grihastha, no problem. Depends on your goal. Always remember, your goal will determine where and how you will live in your life. So first and foremost, keep sure about what your goal is, and then you will be able to determine, or you'll be able to decide, or you'll be able to discriminate between, am I going towards my goal or am I going away from my goal? The problem is, we have all this understanding. We are not ignorant. Theoretically, intellectually, everyone understands everything. That I need to go more towards myself. The sansar is taking me more and more into whatever, ups and downs and attractions and distractions. But we love grihastha ashram so much. We love it. We enjoy it. We are enjoying the distractions. We are enjoying the attractions. We are enjoying the distractions. It is seducing. We want to continuously be in grihastha ashram because we are comfortable in it. And even if we are not comfortable in it, we still want to stay there because it has become a habit. It has become a habit. See, when we are in school, we work really hard to get a promotion. Next class. Nobody wants to stay in the same class again and again. 5th standard, 6th standard, etc. College also. First year, second year. In our jobs, in our professions also, we want a promotion. From clerk to manager to executive or CEO. We want to keep moving. Then why is it that in spirituality we don't want any promotion? We are just comfortable where we are. We have no urge to spiritually promote ourselves from bhogi to yogi. We want to stay bhogi only because it is comfortable, because we have got used to it. We want to just continue. It's seducing. That is the danger of sansar. The danger of sansar is it catches you, it holds you. Not only does it hold you, but it prevents you from using all the knowledge that you have gathered through your satsangs, through your studies, through your swadhyay. The thing is, we come empty-handed into the world. Kuch lata nahi, except our karmas, except our sanskars, except our vasanas. When we will go back, also we will take only these things. Baki ka sab will be left over here. After we come here, 50 years, we go on acquiring things. This, that, we acquire degrees, we acquire vishais, we acquire relationships, we acquire all sorts of things. And the nature of the human mind is that whatever you acquire, you get attached. You get attached to whatever, then you cannot Get rid of it. This is mine, this is mine, this is mine, this car is mine, this child is mine, this husband is mine, this wife is mine, this dress is mine, this diamond is mine. It is a natural human nature to acquire and get attached. So I say, at the end of our life, why are we really so afraid of death? One is that we don't know what is going to happen after death, pata nahi, and that you read Garud Puran, so then you have absolutely, had it. I will have to be boiled in this hot oil, and then I'll have to walk on
embers.
Huh?
Embers.
Hot coals, and this nails, and God alone knows, some yamdoots will come and whatever. That is one part why you are afraid. The other part is sab chhut jayega. What will happen to all this that I have collected for so many decades? Ye sab chhut jayega, and that is also painful. It's painful. So attachment is easy. Acquiring an attachment is easy. Acquiring an attachment is quick also. In 1 second, you go buy one sari, the next second you are attached to it. God forbid your child drops one drop of dal on it and that poor thing has had it. So acquiring an attachment is easy. Letting go and detachment is extremely painful. And because it is so painful, you don't want to let go. You don't want to detach. So it is comfortable, even though you know, इस संसार में कोई सुख नहीं है. We have heard 100 times, Ma goes on saying the same thing. But yet, I want to hang on to it. Yet, I want to be there. Okay, 50 years, acquire. 50 years, attach. Now, what about next 50 years? Next 50 years, at least, you can start getting detached. You can start letting go, okay? And that is what happens in Vanaprastha. That is the purpose of Vanaprastha. Slowly, 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 slowly start letting go. Letting go, very difficult. What about retirement? When we retire, isn't that good enough for Vanaprastha? Now I am out of professional life, I have retired. Can I not just do my Vanaprastha? Normally what happens, when people retire, especially from very active and very high positions, when people retire, they get one rogue, one illness comes. I've given it a name, TRS. Traumatic Retirement Syndrome. Okay, traumatic retirement. Huh?
They actually fall sick.
They actually fall sick.
Everything.
Absolutely. Not that though, of course, physically they fall sick. They don't know what to do with themselves. They don't know what to do with themselves. So much of action, so much of responsibility, so much of delegation, so much of decision making. Now you are at home, your wife is there, and your servants or husband also. I want to be very gender unbiased. So whether it is husband or whether it is wife, now you are stuck in that. दूध आया क्या नहीं, bread है क्या नहीं घर में, कौन सी सब्जी आज बनाने की, all that nonsense. Now the symptom of this TRS is, there are 4 symptoms. I call them 4 P's. What are those 4 P's? Not green peas. 4 P's. No power. No perks. Then, no paisa. And no pune. खुद करना पड़ेगा सब कुछ. Otherwise, 1 घंटी बजाओ, पानी लाओ, कॉफी लाओ, बटाटा वटा लाओ.
No
now,
position.
Huh?
No position.
No position, nothing. 5 P's. Everything you have to do. Now, that person doesn't know what to do. Let me see how you are running the house. That wife, for so long, she has done autonomously, beautifully run the house. No hitches, no problems. Everything is happening smoothly. That fellow will come and interfere. Let us do like this, let us do like that, let us do like this, let us do like that. Should he not help? Should he not help? Raj, what do you say? Raj is saying yes, yes, yes.
Because I don't
At least in retirement, should he help?
should
Huh?
have coffee.
Should have.
He should help. Make coffee, chai, everything, right? He should help even before retirement. Why only after retirement? I am to saying in a balanced marriage, the husband should be helping in the house even before retirement, and the wife also should be supporting the husband before retirement. That is, but after retirement, what about after retirement? Should he be helping in the house?
Yes.
I say no. Why? Because that's the time he should be in Vanaprastha. Not just the husband and the wife. You have retired. What are you doing? You are no longer, job is no longer in the house. Your job is take your wife and go into Vanaprastha ashram. That is the dharma. Now in Bhagavad Gita you have read, if you don't do, your swadharma is to follow your ashram and varna. It is better to do your own dharma badly than to do the dharma of somebody else. His dharma after retirement is not to make the bhaji and cut the potatoes and make chawal dal and sweep the floor. After retirement, his dharma is Vanaprastha. And take your wife along with you. And both of you enter Vanaprastha. That is the dharma after retirement. Okay? Who will look after the house? Who will look after the house? You are finished now. Your next generation will look after the house. What you have to do? So the whole system is perfectly demarcated. The problem is that if one ashram goes haywire, all the ashrams after that go out of sync. So if you have lived correctly brahmacharya, you have lived correctly grihastha, then automatically the whole household will be ready for Vanaprastha. And of course after that, sannyas. So then it becomes important to know when should one take up Vanaprastha. What do you think? You can definitely voice your opinion, because obviously you don't think you are ready yet for Vanaprastha. So when do you think you should, or one should take Vanaprastha ashram? When?
After kids getting married.
When will that be?
Next generation
What
is
is the goal?
matured. I mean,
Everything is got delayed.
ready to take
Everything
charge
has
of
got
their
delayed. So, but that delay will go on happening. So when is the right time?
And what if the kids don't get married?
Big problem. That is
What
why I
if you
say
don't have
everything is
You don't have the next generation then.
That is why I am saying
And
nobody is
previous
living their dharma correctly.
Yeah, the previous generation does not take, then they also become our responsibility.
How can we leave now?
That's what I'm saying. Now the parents and whatever, if they haven't followed that,
Yeah.
then it is our responsibility to take care of them because they are in the house.
Big problem.
Not a problem, I'm just
No, it is a big problem. It is a big problem.
And mom,
It is,
being in Grihastha ashram, you can follow Vanaprastha. It's
Ah.
because
Yes.
it's the mental state.
correct.
So
Coming
being
there.
in Grihastha, we can follow Vanaprastha.
We can, but we should
Doing
know
our
how
dharma
also,
because-
no?
Because being in Grihastha, there is your dharma, your swadharma, which you have to do. Which might be there till
But
your
till when?
ages-
Till
it might
when?
be- Maybe till if your parents are alive till 100 and you're becoming 70 at that time.
First
you
and
not-
foremost, the parents have not gone ahead.
Yes.
Promotion नहीं मिला है.
But हमारा
So-
धर्म है कि parents
हाँ.
को करना, that is the स्वधर्म.
हाँ.
So being in that grahastha ashram, you can follow Vanaprastha.
See, that
doing
way
your
you can
dharma.
justify everything.
No,
But
no,
you can
it's-
take your parents also with you, no?
What if they're not in the family?
So we'll come to that. We'll come to that.
Vanaprastha has to be with the spouse.
No, doesn't have to. You don't have
We'll take care of this.
But I will tell you something. The choice is with the spouse, not with you. The
My
choice.
question is, when you are married, can one be in Vanaprastha and the other in
Yes.
Grihastha?
Yes, can.
So the choice can be exercised if
Can.
one wants to.
But basically, the husband has to take the Vanaprastha. The wife has the choice of accompanying the. I'm talking about traditional.
Yeah.
Talking about traditional. Tradition says the husband at the time of retirement has to take Vanaprastha. The wife has the choice of accompanying the husband or staying back with the eldest son. So when should one take Vanaprastha? Traditionally. I'm not talking about Kaliyug because Kaliyug mein har cheez gadbad ho gaya hai. You know, it's a khichdi. So Manusmriti, in Manusmriti, I will tell you also, if you can do research, Adhyay 6, Shlok 2. Okay? You know, the thing is, it's important to know where things are quoted from. Otherwise, it's hearsay, it's gossip, it's on internet, but nobody is giving you the authenticated information. So it's always important to quote it from the text. So Manusmriti Adhyay 6 Shlok 2 says, I have the Sanskrit also, but I will say it in English. When the householder notices his wrinkles and greyness and sees his child's child, then he should retire to the forest. I think we all should.
Should have gone long time back. Wrinkled grey.
But child now they can.
Wrinkle. Now in Kaliyug, the minute we see one wrinkle, we go for facelift. Or we put some very nice makeup and cover that wrinkle. The minute we see one grey hair, what do we do? Cover it up, dye it, cut it, chop it, pull it out, all kinds of things. But not in the traditional thing. So, no dyeing, no facelift, no extra makeup. When you see, the story is there, there's a story, and poet Kalidas has written this story in Raghu Vansham. Okay, that's the book. One day, King Dashrath was getting ready and he was putting on his crown. And as he was putting on his crown, one grey hair he saw, one grey hair. And when he saw that one grey hair, he got a spiritual insight. Okay? That as if to say that one grey hair is speaking to him. And he said, the time has come for me to coronate Sri Ram, make him the king, and I should fulfill the purpose of my life, take Vanaprastha and go and start working on the third part of my life. So this is, there are umpteen stories in Srimad Bhagavatam also. Even Tulsidas has written about this, that King Dashrath, who was at the peak of his career, or whatever you can say, peak and prosperity and awe and respect, honored by everyone, at that time he's ready to give it all up. Why? Because he knows it is his dharma now for me to move on towards realizing my higher self. And for that, I need to be away from the attractions and the distractions of sansar and start working on my highest goal. Other examples of Vanaprastha in Srimad Bhagavatam is Dhritarashtra. Dhritarashtra in Mahabharata spent his entire life taking the path of complete blind attachment to his sons, Kauravas. And everybody knows in the war what happened. All his sons were killed. He was alone. But the Pandavas supported him. Pandavas gave King Dhritarashtra a place of honor in their palace. Looked after Dhritarashtra as their own father. In the meantime, Vidur, if you remember, had left the palace because he could not tolerate what was happening between the Pandavas and the Kauravas. So he came back and he gave Updesh to Dhritarashtra. What are you doing? You know, you have entire life you have spent insulting, harming, being cruel to the Pandavas, and now you are sitting there under their care. This is not the place for you. Your life needs to go into Vanaprastha. And he took that advice and he left with Gandhari and Kunti and Vidur. All four went into the forest and there they spent the last days of their life. Then there's an example of Kardam Muni. Kardam Muni, he was of course a very wise man. Muni means he was a meditative person. He also had decided that the time comes, I will definitely go away from Sansar. But his one criteria or condition was that first I should give birth to a son. Once I will give birth to my son, then I can leave it to my son and then I can go away. So he was going to marry Manu's daughter. Manu's daughter was Devahuti. So he went to Manu and he told Manu, I will marry your daughter, but this is my shart, that the minute a son is born, I will go into Vanaprastha. Manu agreed. They got married, they had a son. And as it happened, the son who was born was an avatar of Bhagwan Vishnu. Kapil Dev. Kapil Muni. So if you can imagine, Bhagwan is born in my house. Where I need to go? I already found Bhagwan right here in my house. कुछ जाने की कोई जरूरत ही नहीं. But his dharma said, you have to go. So he left, and of course that was like that. Dhruv also, Dhruv's father, he also was extremely spiritually mature. He also knew at the time will come when I will have to go. So his name was Uttanapada, King Uttanapada. He also, the minute Dhruv was born, he was ready. He also left and went into Vanaprastha. So these are all the examples of in the Shastras where dharma of Vanaprastha has been fulfilled. So what exactly is Vanaprastha? And what is the traditional duties of a Vanaprastha? What do you have to do in Vanaprastha? In Brahmacharya we know we have to go to Gurukul, we have to do study, we have to do seva. In Grihastha we know we have to support the family, we have to support society, we have to support sannyasis. In sannyasi also we know what we have to do, more or less spread the knowledge, live the knowledge. In Vanaprastha, what are the duties and what are traditional, okay? Now, anyone has a weak heart, please close your ears, because it is quite tough. It is quite tough. So traditionally, as I said, the husband chooses to enter Vanaprastha. It is the husband's duty. The wife, as I said, can accompany the husband, or the wife can stay along with the son in the Grihastha ashram. Both are dharma, normal. How long should one be in Vanaprastha before taking sannyas? You can stay 12 years, 8 years, 4 years, 2 years or 1 year. That was the rule. Either you, if you are not yet ready for sannyas, up to 12 years you can be in Vanaprastha. After that probably you won't survive also. That's a different matter. But after that 12, 8, 4, 2 or 1, a person who is ready in 1 year Vanaprastha, he will take sannyas. But after these specific durations, you take sannyas. Okay? Then this is a training period. It's not easy, as I said. It's not easy to be in Vanaprastha ashram. So it's a training ground for titiksha. It's a training ground for tapasya. So it's a training ground where all your attachments have to be dropped one by one. So let me tell you the duties, okay? This is quite, I have a full list of them. So when you go from your grihastha home, you carry with you your sacrificial fire. Your yagna fire you carry, means you have to continue that treatment of taking the sacrificial or worship fire, puja fire, and for that you have to build a small cottage or a small mandir in which you have to put your Bhagwan ka fire, where you will do your puja every day. But you don't live there. You have to live outdoors. You cannot live inside a house. You have to live outside in the open. The house is only for the puja fire. Okay? Then what you'll do, outside also you cannot have a camp bed and all. You cannot take one Dunlop. You have to sleep. No foldable bed on the floor. You have to sleep on the floor outdoors. Okay? What will you do? Every day you will do your Panch Yagna. We have talked about Panch Yagna when we did Ishavasya Upanishad. What are they? The first is Deva Yagna, means you do puja of the Bhagwans. Second is Pitra Yagna. You do the worship of your Mata Pita, if they are alive or even if they have passed on. Then you will do Brahma Yagna. Brahma Yagna, you do Yagna, worship the Shastras and your Guru. Then you do Manushya Yagna. Manushya Yagna is you do seva for human beings. Worship them, respect them, do seva. And finally, there is Bhuta Yagna, where you worship nature. Okay? Prakriti. So you will do that. Then what else? You can eat only once a day. In one. Dhanraj is not happening. Only once a day, so food spot is not happening. Once a day only, and that too, no anna. No anna. Fruits, roots, vegetables. Fruits, roots, like a upvas, like a vrat. Then, that also you have to get as bhiksha. That also you have to get as bhiksha. What will you wear? Shall I tell you? You have to wear skin of animals or anything made out of kusha grass. Okay? So leave all your clothes behind. You cannot shave. That is also not happening now. Oh. You cannot shave, you cannot cut your hair, and you cannot cut your nails also. Because that is deha, you are concerned with deha. Then, I don't know how difficult or easy this one is, you have to remain celibate. So even even if your wife has accompanied you, you have to remain celibate. Celibate samajh gaya na? Then do your swadhyay, do your jap, all whatever sadhanas you are doing, you have to do that. Whatever food you get, whatever it may be, share it with anyone who happens to come to your small outdoor kutia. And if you by chance get an incurable disease, possible, no medicine, live on air and water till the Atma leaves the body. Okay? But no fear to be had, no grief, whatever it is, you are ready to pass. Now, how many are ready? How many are ready to go into Vanaprastha? Everyone will say, forget it, moksha, moksha, jane do. I am very happy where I am. I don't need to do all this for moksha. I am not going to go. Knowing that, Sanatan Dharma says everything has to be done according to Kal, Desh, Paristhiti. Okay? It's not that there is one rule and no flexibility in that rule. According to Kal, according to time, according to Desh, according to place where you are situated, according to Paristhiti. So, like Nagesh says, my parents are old. They cannot go here and there. Therefore, Paristhiti says, I cannot go into Vanaprastha. Getting it? Kal, Kaliyug. So many things are happening. Everything has got jumbled up. All ashrams are going haywire. Grihastha is not happening till 30 and 40. Brahmacharya is just continuing. Brahmacharya is also going crazy. So, Paristhiti, Kal, Desh, whatever is going on, not possible. Desh, there is no Vana. Where will I go? So, keeping all these in mind, how can I enter Vanaprastha ashram in Kaliyug? Because that is where we are. Kal is telling us I have to adapt Vanaprastha to my Kal when I am living. I am not living in Satyug. I am not living in Treta. I am not living in Dwapar. I am living in Kaliyug. So in Kaliyug, now we have to adapt the rules of Vanaprastha for Kaliyug. Thank God she's saying, okay. It would be impossible for us to do any of these rules right now. And the Shastras knew it very well. So many centuries and I don't know how many times ago it was written, they said in Kaliyug, Vanaprastha is impossible. It is written in the Shastras. Vanaprastha is impossible for most people, not for all, for most people in Kaliyug. So, every yuga has got a different way of adapting the rules given. So, in Srimad Bhagavatam, I will tell you the exact quote, 12.3.3.33. It is clearly written, in Kaliyug, students, means brahmacharya, will be averse to vows. Means you have to take so much vrat, you have to take so many tapasyas, and they take a vow. In brahmacharya ashram, you take a vow. I will not drink alcohol, I will not do this, I will not do that, I will not eat meat. In current age Kaliyug, our children cannot take any vrat. They will not be able to follow any vrat. And they will be impure. Their thoughts, everything is impure. You understand why it's impure? Ek to, our food affects our purity. Our food is impure. Our habits are impure. Our homes are impure. Everything is impure in Kaliyug. There is nothing happening according to the correct way of doing. So, the children are born with impure sanskars. Therefore, they will not be able to follow the vows of brahmacharya. What about grihastha? The Shastras say the grihasthis in Kaliyug are beggars. These are the words. The grihasthis are beggars. Why they say we are beggars? Because we keep asking. We go to Bhagwan also, we do bhik. Bhagwan give me this, Bhagwan give me that, Bhagwan give me this, Bhagwan give me that. We are continuously asking and taking. Nobody is thinking of giving. Even gratitude is not given. Even nobody has time to give smile. Nobody has time to give a helping hand. Everyone is busy. Where is the time? I have no time. We are beggars. Then grihasthis, that is beggars. Then Vanaprastha, those who are retired, they are what you call, they have no strength, they have no energy. Our retirees have no energy. Why? Because in entire grihastha they have wasted their energy on all rubbish, distraction and attraction. Distraction and attraction has simply drained them of all their energy. By the time they are retired, they are wimps. There is absolutely no energy left. And whatever is left is still being used in following sansar. So they also can never, you saw the list? What you have to do in Vanaprastha? Can our retirees do? Even we grihasthis don't have the energy to do that. Forget retirees. And for renunciates, for sannyasis, what does Srimad Bhagavatam say? Sannyasis in Kaliyug are just greedy for wealth. They will just be greedy for wealth. You call yourself a sannyasi, but you are still running after making money. And exactly that is happening in all the 4 ashrams. Our children have become impure. Our grihasthis have become beggars. Our retirees have become wimps, drained of all energy. And our sannyasis, unfortunately, have become greedy, bhogi. It's the truth. Therefore, in Srimad Bhagavatam, it says in Kaliyug, get rid of Brahmacharya ashram and get rid of Vanaprastha ashram. In Kaliyug, these 2 ashrams do not apply. They are discarded. No Brahmacharya, not possible. Because they will go in Brahmacharya, they may take the vows, but they will not be able to fulfill them. And Vanaprastha, they will simply not be able to go through the rigors of the Vanaprastha dharma. So, who will we call a Vanaprastha in Kaliyug? What will a Vanaprastha do? Because Vanaprastha is the transition between grihastha and sannyas. Or you can say it's the transition between pravritti marg and nivritti marg. And we have already established that nivritti marg is required for knowledge. Knowledge is required for self-realization. And self-realization is required for moksha. So if our goal is moksha, what will we do? How will we go into nivritti marg? What is the solution for you and me in Kaliyug? So we have to adapt. We have to adapt the rules of Vanaprastha which are given for earlier yugas in our Kaliyug. Okay? So let's go back to the definition of Vanaprastha. Vana is one, forest. Prastha is to go. So Vanaprastha is one who goes into the forest. So in Kaliyug there is no forest. So here we can say forest means seclusion. Forest means not a crowded place. Forest means solitude, where sansar is not coming inside. See, there cannot be sansar in forest, na? There is a forest and sansar is almost always, literally, it is away from sansar. All your sansar happens outside. Oh, forest mein chale gaya, it's quiet. It's not crowded, it's secluded, it's solitude. So, here we have to take in Kaliyug, going to Vana means going to solitude, going into inner forest of mind, not forest of Jagat, but forest of mind. So Vanaprastha is the one who goes inward, inside himself, where he is not crowded by sansaric issues, not crowded by vasanas, not crowded by habits that are belonging to sansar. A transition into a quieter life. Possible or not in Kaliyug? Possible for all of us. Vanaprastha that way is possible for all of us. Here also we can say the same rule. The choice is for the husband. Can take the wife along, or the wife can decide to stay out of it and be in Grihastha. Same rule can be applied in Kaliyug also. Same rule can be applied for 12, 8, 4, 2 and 1. How long do you want to stay in this secluded life of contemplation? For some people it may take 12 years. For some people it may take 8 years, 4 years. I'm ready, 2 years, 1 year. But after that what? Take sannyas. After Vanaprastha, it is compulsory to take sannyas. Possible or not in Kaliyug? Possible. However, the Shastras say, don't give sannyas randomly to X, Y and Z. Give sannyas only, and the Guru has to give the sannyas. So the Guru must make sure that that person has lived the Vanaprastha life completely, totally, perfectly, mastered what? Detachment. Not before that. And mastered detachment for the right reasons. What is the right reason?
For my highest good.
For your highest goal, not out of Kantala. Not out of Kantala for Sansar. Out of not, that is a negative way. The positive way is Mumukshutva. The positive way, out of Mumukshutva, I want sannyas. Okay? So here also there will be tapasya. Here also there will be titiksha. All the things, whatever you will be doing in that forest living on the ground, you can do where you are also. So let's see what all that would imply. It would imply living as simply as possible in your own home. Because where else will you go? Where else will you go? Because sansar is everywhere. Where is that one place where sansar is not there? You go to the forest, that is also sansar. You go to the Mansarovar, Kailash, that is also sansar only. So wherever you go, there is sansar. But you have to change that desh here. So wherever you are, wherever you choose to be, in an ashram, in your house, in wherever it is, live as simply as possible. Means what? One more rule. Be celibate. You have to be celibate. So that is again very difficult. If you are living in your home, your wife is there. But if you want to be in Vanaprastha, you have to remain celibate. Then what else? How will you spend your time? Swadhyay, Seva, Jap, Dhyan. This is your... Normally what happens in Grihastha, with luck, 20% of your time is in sadhana, 80% of your time is in doing other things. I'm saying with luck. It may be as less as 5% or 2% also. But in Vanaprastha, 80% in sadhana, 20% in looking after your body, cooking your food, doing whatever else needs to be done in the house. That's as less as possible. Eat as simply as possible, and of course only sattvic food, no meat, no alcohol, no intoxicants, nothing that is rajasic or tamasic in nature. Then, nice one. No paying attention to your cosmetic beauty, hairstyle, which color shall I dye my hair this time, and so none of that garbad, okay? Then, okay. Do not be dependent on anyone for your needs. Don't be dependent on anyone for your needs, and don't make others also dependent on you. Both ways. So as far as possible, detach. As far as possible. And no traveling also, sorry Anju, no traveling also for leisure, pleasure, enjoyment. Okay? So basically all these things are distractions. If you are continuously traveling, then where is the stillness? Where is the stillness? Okay? Okay? And hand over your responsibilities as much as possible to others and practice Shravan, Manan, Nididhyasana. This is the way to practice Vanaprastha in Kaliyug. Possible or not possible? Okay, maybe not everything happening in one shot, but one by one, it's a slow withdrawal. It's a slow process, and that is why 12, 8, 4, 2, 1. Slowly, 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 it will happen. Now, in Kaliyug, when to take, because wrinkles to happen very fast in Kaliyug, white hair to happens in teens only. So now when to take Vanaprastha in Kaliyug, in this scenario, when should one take Vanaprastha? One immediate non-negotiable thing is when your son gets married. That's a good time. Son, got a lot of time for you.
Long way to go.
Son gets married and can maintain himself independently. If not at that time, then definitely when the son gets married, when the son gets a child. When you see your child's child, remember Manusmriti? When you see your child's child, that is 100% you have to get out of the house at that time.
After married only have a child.
But if married, if you cannot do it, only he's married, then at least after he gets a child, that time so you should definitely be out of the grihastha setup. In fact, there is one, I cannot tell you the shastra where it is said, but it is, I know Swamiji does it very often in the kathas, that it is actually obscene to be in one room having conjugal rights with your wife while your son is having conjugal rights with his wife. It is obscene. It is considered obscene. So definitely at that time one needs to be out of this attachment to whatever. Then another criteria could be if it is conducive, Kal, Desh, Paristhiti is conducive. If you can meet it at 50 years, then by all means go ahead and do it at 50 years, provided all other situations are conducive. When else? This is a good one. When the thought arises in you, when the calling comes in you, when the understanding happens in you, that my highest purpose is moksha and I am ready now to detach, then don't wait. Shastra say don't wait. When that happens, do it. Because sansar is like a magnet. You'll get that thought and immediately Sankalp, Vikalp. Immediately you will get the other option. Then that opportunity or that occasion will simply slip by. Another very important criteria one should keep in mind, and that of course the Guru will see that you have lived your Grihastha ashram with fulfilling all the duties and responsibilities. You cannot run away out of Kantala of Grihastha ashram. And then, as I said, the Guru has to give that adesh or give that okay, go ahead, you are ready. Until that time, one cannot do it. One cannot do manmani in this. No manmani, only buddhi mani. Swamiji always says like that. So there is one, what can I say, theory. It's called Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Okay, I have brought one printout to make it easier for you to understand. Okay, so this is called Maslow's hierarchy of needs. So it's according to Maslow, who was a psychologist and a psychiatrist also perhaps, I'm not sure, psychologist I think. He said that people have 5 layers or tiers of needs. The maximum number of people, and almost everybody, you can say every human, will have a physiological need. Physiological means everybody has need of khana, air, food, air, what else you can say, shelter, sleep. These are physiological needs. Clothing, even reproduction is counted in this physiological needs. This everybody needs, even animals. But then when this need is fulfilled, one more need comes up, the need for safety. The need for safety will come, safety of my body, my financial needs, security, that will come, resources, health, safety, otherwise I might die. So to be safe, I need to look after the needs of my health, my property, so that everybody will not have this. Everybody will have this. When this is fulfilled, remember, when this is fulfilled, then only you will think of your safety. Uske pehle, you will not think. When you have no food, you know people take food from the garbage also and eat. Because they don't have that basic thing. They are not thinking my health will be bad. They are not thinking like that. When they have no place to stay, they are living on the footpath. They are not thinking of safety for house, safety of resources. So when this is fulfilled, then you will go to the next stage. If your safety needs are also met properly, then you will go to the social needs. Social needs is my need for friends, my need for companionship, my need for intimacy. When there is no basic need of khana pina, you will not think of, let me make a good friend, hello, how do you do, you will not be chatting on WhatsApp, right? So that need for connection between people will come only when you are feeling safe. Till then you will not. When this is met, then you will think of need for self-esteem, my name, naam, my yash, what my society is thinking of me, my respect, how many people are recognizing me, my strength, my freedom, your esteem, self-esteem will come. And once this is also met completely, then only you will think of self-actualization, moksha. Then only you will think of spirituality. Then only you will be able to think of reaching your highest goal. This is Maslow's hierarchy of needs. It doesn't mean that there are not stray cases where someone who doesn't even have these physiological needs is not thinking of self-actualization. There are exceptions. There are poor people also who don't have safety, they don't have social connection, they don't have self-esteem or need for self-esteem, but they are met all those needs in a previous lifetime. All that has been met, only some prarabdha is left for the physiological needs, but they are already thinking of self-actualization. But generally, if you were to see that, then the basic concept is that the needs which are lower in the hierarchy have to be met before a person gets up promoted to the next layer of needs. So if you'll see, if you don't have food in your stomach, you have not eaten the whole day, you are not eaten properly for 3 days, you are not going to think of moksha. You are not going to think of doing swadhyay. You are not going to think of jap. Yes, you may do it. You may do the sadhana, you may do the jap only to meet the need. Bhagwan, give me this. But not for self-actualization. Not for getting moksha. You may do all these things, but only for getting the need met. Not for getting Bhagwan or not for your highest good. The problem is, if you start waiting for your needs to be fulfilled, big danger. Big danger, because that is the flaw of Maslow's hierarchy of needs. The flaw is that one gets your needs met, but you are still not satisfied. That is the fault. This is psychology, but not spirituality, not Vedanta, where they have understood the more you keep satisfying your desire, the stronger and stronger it becomes. Needs quickly move into greed. So something has made you happy, something you have got, now let me get more and more of that. So what needs to be done is you need to apply samaj. You need to apply all the knowledge that you have learned to think, oh, let me, all my physiological needs should be met. People say, when will I take sannyas? When will I make that big jump? When all my bank balance is so many crores. That crores will come, and after that, some more crores are needed. Let me have this much in the bank for my children. When that happens, more will be needed. More will be needed. It is a never-ending bucket list. That bucket always has a hole, and there's always a leakage in that hole. And that is our state of dukh. Because we are always in a state of incompleteness. We are always in a state of dissatisfaction. We are never satisfied with whatever we have. Is it not possible that if I don't have so much of food and so much of beautiful house and so much of shelter, I cannot think of moksha? Is it like that? It cannot be. Then you are not ready. So therefore, if also, if you don't have something, what will you do tyag of? Then a bhikari can easily say, I will renounce all my riches. He doesn't have any riches. What will he renounce? So it is important to go through the steps instead of trying to just jump into something which you are not ready for. Sometimes I never know which is the right thing. If my prarabdha has not given me enough riches, prosperity, is that easier to renounce, to move into sannyas from that stage? Or is it easier to move into sannyas with a prarabdha which has given me everything? What do you say?
One is Janak.
Maybe just one.
That is difficult.
Very
The
difficult.
last two steps, according to me, the Maslow, not the self-actualization, but the I think
Esteem.
the important ones are the
Social.
the social and the esteem. I think when one sees through the hollowness of having a whole bunch of friends or even fame or whatever it is, I think one doesn't have to have everything, but glimpses of the hollowness of it are enough to sort of skip those two.
Hopefully, because sometimes even the glimpse or even the full understanding that this is not leading me, it is very difficult to put a brake,
Detached from it.
to detach from it. It's like our car is going on full speed Ferrari.
Correct.
Now suddenly you say brake karo. Difficult. But I think between the two options of not having anything and being able to go into sannyas, or having everything and being able to go into sannyas, I would go with the second one.
Having everything.
Having everything, then having the samaj, and then letting go. I think if you don't have anything and you are going into sannyas because you don't have anything,
Not
then
me.
at some stage you will
Very
want
good.
all those things which you have not experienced.
You may revert also.
You may revert. Huh? So I think it is important to use your grihastha life to prepare yourself through samaj for the next two stages of your life. Instead of spending your grihastha in you only live once, let's do this, let's do that, go and see the whole world tour le lo, bungee jumping kar lo, deep sea diving kar do, this kar do, that kar do, eat in this restaurant, that. You only live once. No, you don't only live once, you know. That argument is false. You live many times and you have to come back as many times before you can realize that you don't only just live once. And even if you only lived once, there's all the more reason for you to do your sadhana and get your moksha this life. Otherwise, those who believe only live once, they will either live in eternal hell or what they call eternal paradise, which of course does not exist. So what is this samaj that I have to train myself for in the grihastha ashram? I'm not saying that only go with the gyan. You can get all this even through bhakti. You can get all this, you can get the knowledge from the Gyan Yoga. You can get the knowledge from the Bhakti path. You can get the knowledge from the Karma Yoga path. Any path is okay, so long as you have used your Grihastha ashram for your self-purification. Self-purification, that is a must. That is the baseline. Beyond that, then you can go into bhakti, you can go into surrender, you can go into gyan, you can go into seva, you can go into many things. But that without self-purification, it is not going to happen. That is pakka. And you know that 100 times, like a broken record I will say, for that you need to do everything in karma yoga bhav. What is the biggest culprit? Vasana. Vasana. So use your grihastha ashram not to indulge in your vasanas, because the more you will indulge in your vasana, the more you are strengthening the vasana. You are making it, giving it muscle power. So use your grihastha ashram for getting rid of your vasanas. Rid to immediately will not happen, but samaj is required. Okay? So I am going to give you one story, Chotu story. It's from the Shastras, so it must be true. So there was one very wealthy man. His name was Duni Chand. Duni Chand. He was very wealthy, but he was a Mahakanjus. Mahakanjus means Karpanya dosh. So he would never use his money for anything. So one day he went to Nanak Ji, and Nanak Ji said, gave him so much advice, updesh, this thing, satsang, but that fellow would not part with his 1 rupee also. So one day Nanak Ji gave Duni Chand one needle, sui, and he said, please keep this safely with you. I will take it from you in Swarg when we meet. Duni Chand said, Nanak Ji, what's wrong with you? I can't take this to Swarg. Nobody can take a needle. How will I give it to you? How will I take it? Acha, you can't take. Then what you are keeping all your wealth for? If you can't take one needle, what will you do with your hundreds of cars, hundreds of mansions, hundreds of clothes, hundreds of necklaces, whatever. And that is the lesson that we have to learn. We can't take even one needle with us, whichever Swarg or wherever you want to go. Then what you are going to do with all this jhamela which we have collected? Use it. If you have had the good prarabdha of having a lot of money, use it for dharma. Don't hoard it. Use it for dharma. If you have a house, use it for dharma. If you have wealth, use it as dan. Use it in dharmic ways. That way, neither you will get the karma of hoarding, plus you will be doing punya. And then remember to do the punya in karma yoga bhav, without karta bhav or expecting anything in return. Then the purification will happen. Money is not a problem. Money is not the culprit. The culprit is not using the money correctly. So focus on what you can take back, which is your sadhana, which is your good sanskars, not your vasanas. Don't take your vasanas back. So I'll leave you with the purpose of the 4 ashrams. Okay? 4 ashrams. 4 ashrams where you are what you can acquire, what is the benefit of the 4 ashrams, and what you can take back after living in those 4 ashrams. Okay? This is a little bit, let's see if it makes sense. So the first ashram is brahmacharya. What will you get from the brahmacharya ashram? The art of learning. So from the brahmacharya ashram, take back the art of learning. How to learn, how to be a shishya, how to, you want to take something, na? We are talking about taking. So what is good for taking? How to learn. How to learn. And where will you practice this learning? With your acharya. Brahma. Acharya of Brahma. That is called Brahmacharya. Okay? The acharya who is teaching you about Brahma. In Grihastha, what will you take back? What is the learning that you will get? The art of living. How to live. How to do your duties. How to fulfill your responsibilities. How to do dan. How to whatever. The art of living. And where will you learn this? In your own home. Use your home for learning, not for just bhoging, if such a word exists. In Vanaprastha, learn the art of leaving. In Grihastha, you learn the art of living. In Vanaprastha, you learn the art of leaving. Okay, and where will you learn it? In the forest of your mind, in the one which is the forest of your mind. And finally in sannyas, learn the art of liberation. Where will you learn it? At the feet of your guru. So there are 4 L's here. Learning, living, leaving, and liberating. These are the 4 things which you need to learn. Baki ka other things learnt or not learnt, it's okay. But at least you learn these 4 things. I will leave you with a quote which I read from Swami Tejomayanand. You know Swami Tejomayanand? He was a earlier head of Chinmaya Mission. I'll read it to you. What is the purpose of human life? We know that human life is not meant only for sense pleasure. For if that was the case, we would not be blessed with an intellect. Man's life is not meant only for living at sense level. The purpose of man's life is to discover and realize the highest truth, the supreme absolute truth, which is one's own self. That truth, if it is to be realized, can be attained only through knowledge. And for that knowledge to be attained, the mind should be pure and single-pointed. If the mind is impure and distracted, there is no question knowledge will not take place. Not take place, guarantee. Even animals live for sense pleasure. We need to know what is the difference between an animal and a human, and why we have been given this beautiful life. That is your samaj. And when the samaj happens, all things become easy. Vanaprastha also becomes easy, sannyas also becomes easy. Everything becomes easy only because of samaj. So the main thing one has to understand is, what am I doing here? And where have I come from? And where do I need to go? If that happens, your Vanaprastha, sannyas, moksha, all will happen smoothly. Grihastha already happening. Okay, nothing more for me to say. Vanaprastha is that place where you will have the opportunity to become pure. That is the purpose of Vanaprastha. Purity. That's it. In your own home. That's it. What else? So serious, man. Any questions?
Many a times, and I'm talking purely for myself. Okay, I'm at a stage where many responsibilities of a grihast are not there now for me.
Okay.
But I have the aspiration to still do well as far as my career is concerned.
Okay.
Many a times I tend to justify my actions by saying that, well, it's fine, I'm not attached to it, but it's okay if I do it once in a while.
What?
Why does that happen? It
Do
could
what
be,
once in a while?
It could be things like, whiling away 3 hours in watching a movie. I know somewhere that it's not going to be fruitful for me. I mean, it's not, if the goal of human birth is liberation, then everything that you do for liberation is what you should actually be doing. So why is it that, these spurts of justification keep coming up?
Well, first let me tell you, it's nothing wrong if you see a movie for 3 hours. I also see movies for 3 hours. Nothing wrong with that. What is more troubling is that, not troubling, the more obstacle for you is that your goal is stuck halfway. You have to fly from here to America, but you are loving Dubai. And now Dubai, or whichever other place, it doesn't matter, is feeling attractive for you right now. And till that happens, your onward flight to America, you're not getting on it. So if that is your goal, that's fine. I'm not here to tell you what is the right goal and the wrong goal. Till that samajh comes that this is not where I need to be stuck, it's fine. Everyone will get that understanding when they are ready to get it. We are not here to make anyone feel incomplete or inadequate just because they are not ready for reaching that highest goal. And it's not everybody's cup of tea either. Now the reason why you will feel like, and I'll tell you, why do I sit and watch a movie? Sometimes I tell Nikhil, I need some complete change. I say, I'm sitting the whole day doing either Satsang, Gita, this thing, that thing, that thing. I just need to refresh my mind, get it off that. So when I see something relaxing, I'm ready to again go and do something more purposeful. And you're watching it for that reason, I don't see if there's anything wrong with that. It's a form of relaxation, it's fine. But don't try to justify it. See it for whatever it is. Right now, this is your goal, it's okay, nothing wrong with that.
But maybe in 2-3 years the goal may change.
And it should actually.
Yes.
Everyone's goal should keep progressing,
Yeah.
right? As the samajh happens, the goal will go on progressing. I mean, people think it's a great quality that, oh, I'm 70, but I'm still 17 at heart. Pity you. Yeah, I really pity you. You're still 17 at heart. Guy, just wake up, you lost some 6 decades of your life. So you need to keep progressing. Nothing wrong with it. Yeah, Bhavish.
How to deal with the gap of understanding the samajh between two persons, like maybe a spouse, where one is probably moving forwards towards that state of mind when other is not ready, and when you say that the choice remains with the spouse, so in that case how to deal where one is probably ready for that journey or preparing that mindset wherein other is not, so that will not create a gap or a
First and foremost, is the option that the one person wants to make, is that option pakka, or you're just dilly-dallying, just flirting with the thought? Is the thought pakka? Are you ready to give up everything for that decision? If you are, then do it. Then you will not worry what the other person is thinking, doing or feeling. Then you will just do it. But is your nishtha that pakka in the step that you want to take? Because if you're still worrying about what the other person is going to go through, then your nishtha in that is still not pakka. You're still dallying, dilly-dallying with it. You're still flirting with it. Once it is pakka, it is pakka. It is, you take my case, I didn't have to wait for anyone else to be ready. If you'll wait for anyone else to be ready, you are never ever going to be ready. It is good prarabdha if your spouse is on the same wavelength and ready to follow you. And that happens when even before this decision has to be taken, the two of you are very much in sync with your goal. If there are two different goals, it's not possible, and it's human nature. See, when we say the spouse will also go, they're talking about some other yug, not Kaliyug.
But there also a choice was there. Right?
Yeah. Choice is always there. You always have a choice. You always have a choice. That's the basic first lesson you have to learn.
First tag.
First time, you always have a choice.
One is the attraction to sansar, and the other part is the responsibilities that one feels one has in sansar. Like you have to do, unless I do this XYZ things, this is not really an option I can consider because it will be running away from my responsibility.
Do it then.
So that thought process also.
You have to take your responsibility. You have to do your responsibility. And we are saying Vanaprastha you can do from home. So you can do your responsibility, you can meet your duties and still maintain Vanaprastha, because Vanaprastha is inside and duties is outside.
But
Possible.
also that sometimes we decide for duties also we that's also something that we make for ourselves many a times.
True?
Just in my case, I can give an example. Not that my parents ever told me that you got to leave a career and come back to India, but my mother just once said that yeah, it would have been nice if you were with us. That's all that she had said, nothing else. And I decided to wind up and I came. And I took a back seat in my career for 10-12 years. I could have done better than I actually did. But that's a choice that I made at that point in time. So how much you need as a part of your duty is also sometimes self-inflicted. We feel that this is also my duty. It may not definitely be your duty to the extent that you think it is your duty.
So for that you have to see the dharma. What does the Shastra say for my dharma? And use that as a, yardstick for knowing whether I am doing my dharma as I am supposed to according to my varna and ashram, or am I imagining this is my dharma? So there are ways. I know we cannot read the Vedas, but then you go to someone who can interpret it and they will tell you, no, Sonia, it's not necessary. Or yes, Sonia, you are taking a decision correctly for your dharma. That is possible. So then it leaves out the danger of overthinking or taking on responsibilities just because you are trying to escape something else also. That's also there.
Now in this yuga, husband doesn't leave.
You
wife
can leave.
leave.
Yeah, definitely.
Also, I find this Vanaprastha at this stage, what we are saying is, the glimpses of it, when you are internalized, you can do your dharma even better.
Yes,
It's so liberating in a sense.
100%. 100%. When you are living with the knowledge, then you are seeing everyone as one. You are seeing, there is no baggage.
No baggage.
And when there is no baggage, then all seva and all actions become very easy to do, very seamless, effortless. What else? Anyone? So shall we end with a prayer? Wish Sonia once again for her 50th birthday. God bless you. Please invite us for the 100th. That time we'll do sannyas. मुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरि ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः हरि ओम जय गुरुदेव
Jai Gurudev.